The Lion King live-action remake is polarizing audiences everywhere. In our real take, we're going to let you know if this reimagining delivers the royal treatment that it did 25 years ago.
2019's The Lion King is directed by Jon Favreau, who we know directed Iron Man and Iron Man 2, and of course Disney's The Jungle Book. And now, here we are with the remake of 1994's animated The Lion King. This film stars the voice talents of Donald Glover, Beyonce, James Earl Jones, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Billy Eichner.
Now, before we get into our review, we do want to thank the Alamo Drafthouse, where we're actually filming this review, for these 2 complimentary tickets, which we'll give to a lucky viewer who leaves a thought-provoking comment at the bottom. And of course, guys, if you like our videos, subscribe and hit that bell button for notifications.
So there's been a lot of debate online about what exactly to call this remake. Is it a live-action remake? Is it a photorealistic remake?
Right.
I mean,
because there are no real actors, right?
There's no real actors in it. It is computer animated, but by golly, the animation is amazing. And we'll get into that later. But to start off, let's talk about what this movie is about. Well, gee, I don't know. It's exactly like the 1994 animated movie, with a few exceptions here and there. This movie really is exactly like the 1994 movie.
Right, yeah. I mean, you see, it's pretty much frame by frame. You were mentioning that when we were watching the movie at the very beginning.
The shots are the same.
Yeah.
The rack focus that they use throughout is the same.
And the background being out of focus, like the cartoon.
So plot-wise, I think it's worth it to talk about the pacing of this movie a little bit.
Okay.
Particularly the addition of some scenes here and there that they extended. It just seemed like some of the scenes that they chose to extend were kind of unnecessary.
Right, like in the first act. Yeah, like the first act for me dragged a lot.
Yeah.
And why do you think they extended that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there were some scenes where they chose like to show you maybe more of a certain animal, or maybe the surroundings. Maybe it was to show off the animation.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I really didn't think that it was that necessary.
Right.
On the other hand,
totally agree.
On the other hand, they did choose to add some more scenes involving Nala, for example.
Right.
You got a little bit more Nala in this movie than you did in the 1994
Right.
movie.
They give her time to shine in this movie, kind of balance it out.
Which I appreciated, you know, a little bit. And of course, you know, Beyonce being the voice of Nala, that makes sense as well. So I appreciated those extra scenes. Some of the dialogue that they added in the film, I also felt was a little bit unnecessary, although it was kind of welcome just for the change a little bit. And so I appreciated that.
Yeah, I thought the new additions added a little bit of depth to the story and definitely some colors, so I did appreciate that. But like we said, it is pretty much like 95% frame by frame of the original Lion King. But another thing I thought that was really different from the original was, you know, you remember the Lion King a lot, not just for Mufasa's death, but also for some of the lighthearted moments. And to me in this movie, I really appreciated the more darker and suspenseful moments, and that actually engaged me more than the lighthearted stuff.
In this movie?
In this movie, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, what's funny is that there was something about the realism of these animals that made it feel like more real. Like almost like you felt what they were going through a little bit more because they seemed like real animals. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, because it really worked more with the plot in tandem better. It just worked better based on like how they portrayed the animals.
And now we're going to talk about the characters that we enjoyed. And as for me, I have to say that once again, much like in the original movie, Timon and Pumbaa stole this show. Seth Rogen killed it as Pumbaa.
Yes,
and
my
Billy
favorite
Eichner
character
as Timon. It's just the camaraderie that they had, the back and forth banter that they managed to pull off. And I actually saw an interview where they talked about how they were in the same like recording studio in the same room, because often when they do like animated films, they're actually recording in different locations.
Yeah, remote locations.
Yeah, but here they were together in the same room, and you can tell.
Yeah, the chemistry really worked for them. But individually, when I first heard Billy Eichner's voice as Timon, it threw me off.
It threw you off a little bit.
Because I'm so used to the original Timon voice.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah.
And even though I kind of felt like his voice needed a little more pizzazz and personality, he kind of grew on me throughout the movie. So it worked.
But Seth Rogen with that signature, you know, laugh that he
was
has,
perfect.
He killed it. By far my 2 favorite characters. And I also enjoyed actually Donald Glover as Simba. James Earl Jones, you know, as Mufasa, of course. I mean, you don't even have to.
I don't know. I kind of thought James Earl Jones, I was excited for him, but I felt like he really was just kind of going through the motions in this.
Like maybe not as emotionally invested
or
as in the original. But I mean, you can still sense the gravitas in his voice.
Well, you can, because he's got that commanding Darth Vader, voice, that booming voice.
And as far as the general look of the characters, I thought that the way that they animated Scar was actually pretty efficient, because he looked kind of intimidating and scary, actually.
It's not hard to make a lion look all pissed off.
True,
and
but he did just overall had this like menacing demeanor that was kind of scary. Like, I thought, well, kids might be scared by this a little bit, but Chiwetel Ejiofor actually voiced him very well. I thought.
He did. It was perfect.
12 Years a Slave fame.
Aside from Seth Rogen, my favorite voice actor, hands down. So like we said before, the CGI, animation, photorealism, whatever you want to call it, was astounding in this movie.
It's like watching an episode on National Geographic or something. I mean, it is. Yeah. It's amazing.
They look so real.
These animals look.
Yeah. When people ask me about the movie, the first thing I say is it is gorgeous to look at. You need to watch it in the theater.
Even from the Jungle Book, from when Favreau directed the Jungle Book till now, you can see the difference.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And then the lighting was majestic. The backgrounds were eye candy, and that combined with the cinematography really, I thought, complemented the storytelling and kind of set the mood for a lot of the scenes. I see you concur.
All right, so we just finished discussing the CGI and how amazing it is, and for some viewers, that might be enough to justify this as a classic remake, but not for me. I'm sorry, but why make a movie almost exactly the same way with a few additions here and there just for the sake of remaking it for a younger audience, for a new generation?
Or more money.
Because
Disney doesn't have enough money.
Right? I mean, I think that with the Jungle Book, Favreau took more risks, and for that reason, I felt the Jungle Book was a better remake than The Lion King.
Great point.
So let's start talking about the songs, which were once again repeated pretty much in the same manner as in the original. I think I can think of one new song that was injected into the movie, if I recall. They made some minor changes to some of the tunes here and there. I'm not going to be very specific about which ones, but I just felt a general lack of energy and a general lack of emotion coming not only from the voice acting, but also from just the mood and the tone. And in the animated film, they made some really extravagant, backgrounds with the animation. They were really creative, and in this movie, they kept the realism, alive.
So there's a little maybe disjointness going on, maybe?
It was kind of disjointed, and I think that they made the songs kind of match the realism, and so I felt that some of the energy was lacking.
Yeah, you know what? I do agree with you on some of those songs. Like, for example, the Be Prepared song by Scar did nothing for the audience. It was garbage.
The one that I was thinking of right now, actually.
And then the one by Simba where he can't wait to be king, it was okay, but not the same oomph.
There is one song, though, I gotta say, that they extended in the movie. It's a song that Timon and Pumbaa sing, but it's probably not the one that you're thinking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you can't go wrong with those two characters, right?
I'm glad that they did that because they added some good humor.
Yeah, and all I'm going to say is Beyonce's music is perfect. She can do no wrong. I loved her songs, her music, and her voice acting.
So as for our real take, I'm going to start off by saying, well, CGI is amazing. It's revolutionary, really, and I really appreciated that aspect of it. Voice actors, for the most part, good choices all around, but the lack of originality, the lack of majesty and emotion, it really brought it down for me, and for that reason, I am going to give the Lion King remake 3.5 reels out of 5 reels.
Now, I tell you what, at first I was thinking 4 reels, but the more I let it percolate for me overnight, I brought it down to, like yours, 3.5 reels. And if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, you will see that there is some polarizing going on. The critics right now, as of like maybe one day after a general release of the movie, is at 55%, a big old slat.
Audience is at 89% though, but I am going to say really quick that the original animated Lion King for me is 5 reels.
Oh yeah, of course. No doubt. But we're talking about this movie, right? Yeah. So that basically wraps up our real take of the live action remake of The Lion King, guys. As always, we do want to let you know that you can find us on social media. At Facebook, we're at Real Screeners, and on Instagram, we're at real.screeners. So make sure you comment down below, guys. And like we said at the beginning of the video, we are going to give away 2 movie passes from the Alamo Draft House to one of you guys who gives a thought-provoking can comment for us.
As always, we want to thank the Alamo Draft House for this amazing venue, amazing theater, amazing food, great place to catch a movie.
Right.
And as always, if you like our videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button, and stay tuned next time for some more real takes on movies.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
El Rey León.
The Lion King live action remake is polarizing audiences. And then the lighting was majestic, the backgrounds were eye candy, and combined with the cinematography, it really helped set the mood for this. Your face, dude, I gotta get over your face.
Dude, you gotta roll with it.
I know, dude.